Hey, what's going on, challenge members? I hope you're having a great weekend so far. The Saturday is beautiful. I want to apologize real quick for getting off or getting online late. Cleaning the gym took a little bit longer than expected. It's all good though. So we are into week number 4. Can you believe it? I think it's passing by pretty quickly, and it's not a bad thing. This week, what we're going to end up talking about, what up, Caroline? This week, what we're going to end up talking about is hydration and how important that is. 1, for weight loss, 2, for energy, and then just basically keeping yourself healthy overall. If you are in the replay, I would fast forward just a little bit so that we can get right into it. And let me know when you're here, right? If you look it through the replay, let me know that you're here. And if you have any questions, then please go ahead and write those in the comment box at any time, right? At any time. So let's dive right in, and we're going to get into the first thing, and that's going to be our blueprint checklist. So y'all, we are into week number 4, right? Our first week, what we ended up doing was basically just scheduling. I wanted to make that kind of like a week 0, right? So that we get all the goals and the purposes and the percentages and everything like that down. And we're gonna actually go through that again one more time today, just in case you haven't made that time yet. But here's the other thing, right? So at the beginning of the challenge, what we did is we made measurements. And we took those measurements for your neck, for your shoulders, for your chest, for your right arm, for your left arm, for your waist, for your hips, for your right leg, and for your left leg. And then we also did pictures. Well, here's the thing, is 3 weeks into a challenge, 4 weeks into a challenge, sometimes what happens is the weight loss isn't quite where you want it to be, right? And you don't see the results that you always want to see, at least on the scale, right? You might notice a little bit of differences in the clothes, but the thing that's going to help you the most, actually there's 2. 1 is body fat testing, which we're not doing this go around, but 2 is going to be your inches, right, all over the place. You want to make sure that you're measuring right in the same spot as you did last time. If it's a little off, that's okay. But make sure you do measure, because then you can actually see the progress. You might not be able to feel it right away, but if you can measure, right, what gets measured gets moved. If you can measure it, then you're going to feel a complete difference. We had one of our members, Jana, she sent me her measurements last night I believe. And there are a few areas where she's already moved 2.5 inches, right? And there are some where she's moved a half inch. But in those areas, they're where she wanted to see those changes. So now, halfway through, if you've lost, let's say, a total of 10 inches, right? Well, continue that trend. You can lose a total of 20 inches overall your body, and that proves significant differences, right, with body composition, meaning more muscle and less fat and that kind of thing. So this weekend, make time to please measure yourself again. And if you could send that to me, that would be great. That's me holding you accountable. I'll put that in the Facebook post and the email to send me your measurements. And then from there, also weigh yourself and send that weight over. If you'd like to talk about your diet, your nutrition, anything like that, be sure to let me know, and then we can move forward with it, right, y'all? Okay, so let's switch this over. All right, so remember, all you have to do for this challenge is be present and consistent through it, trust the process, and do your best. I ask you, and if you can answer in the comment section below, are you doing your best to be present and consistent, trust the process, and are you doing your best? Right, so if you haven't filled this out yet, we're going to go over it just real quick. What would being an overall 56% better look like to you? What would it look like to act at the end of this challenge to be the best that you can possibly be? What up, Casey? Are you ready, willing, and able to change? And at what level are you, right? Are you at a 6? Are you at a 7? Are you at a 9? Are you at 10? And when you're at that level, what can you do in order to increase it, right? So say that you're at an 8. What would it take for you to get at a 9 or a 10 and get excited about changing and transforming? Where do we have to go and push ourselves in order to make those changes that you enter in right here, right, to make those changes possible? If you haven't already, check out your whys. Why did you join this challenge? And once you answer the question why to the answer of the previous question, and it gets much deeper as you go down, 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 and in the line. And then from there, right, let's review real quick. Week 1, we had scheduling our classes. We wanted to make sure we did that. And also our food journaling. Week 2, we had movement, 5 minutes outside of the gym, whether it was stretching or walking or bike riding, hiking, swimming, whatever it might be, but getting activity outside of the gym. I'm curious. Let me know below whether you're watching this on YouTube or whether you're watching this on Facebook. I'm curious below. Let me know what activity you did, if you did any, and if you didn't, right, for a majority of the week, what did you find was the obstacle that prevented you from doing that, right? What was it that got in your way? Was it work? Was it just forgetting about it? Was it not wanting to do it? Was it, stress? Let me know below. I'd love to know that, and then maybe we can find a solution, right? We have the review, week 3, right? That was this week. We were recording our food again. We were eating till 80% full. And one other thing that we were doing was eating with no distractions. This week I found extremely interesting. And the reason that I found it extremely interesting is because it's so challenging. There was a little homework assignment that we had on Thursday, I believe it was. And that was to take 10 raisins, 10 M&Ms, 10 grapes, 10 of some type of smaller food, and take 10 minutes to eat it. If you didn't do that, I encourage you, please, to do that today or sometime this weekend. It literally takes 10 minutes. You have the time. I promise you do. You just have to fit it in somewhere in your day. Now, you have those 10 things, right? Those 10 grapes, those 10 raisins, those 10 M&Ms, whatever it is, and you want to try to eat one per minute. One per minute. We had one member, he emailed me his experience, and he said that was one of the hardest things that I've done in such a strange way. And it's interesting because in our society, and at least how I was taught to eat, and I know many of my friends, it's to eat everything as fast as you can. Almost like there's not enough food and you have to hurry up and grab it, right? That's what the Spartans did whenever they were training their young men in the Agoge to become warriors. The Agoge was the school in which the young men became warriors. And they would beat each other, they would bully each other for food because they would purposely give them smaller rations in order to make them fight and to make them tougher and to help them survive in the environment, right? As if they were mimicking the environment of being in the wilderness. We're not in that anymore. We have an abundance of food. We have an abundance of protein. We have an abundance of vegetables. We have everything that we could possibly need in today's world. There are people around the world that survive on like $1 a day. And we need, I don't even know how much, calculate it yourself, but we need at least $50 to $100, where there are people that survive on less than $1 a day. Isn't that crazy? So where did all that come from? That's from the 10 minute homework assignment, right? Of eating slowly, enjoying your food, and not being distracted, right? If you didn't do that, then please check it out. So also this week, we are going to go for the review. So we have, what were the 5 wins from this week? Reflect back on those, right? Personal, professional, in your relationship, in your environment, your kids, did they do something that you were proud of? What were the 5 wins? And then write those down and reflect on them. Why were they such big wins for you? What made them come to mind in order for you to bring these things up? And obviously they make you feel good, so spend a couple of seconds and really dive into that feeling of, man, this really feels good. Maybe you ran, maybe you walked, maybe you chose to not go out on Thirsty Thursday, or you didn't have as many drinks as you wanted to when you went out. Whatever it might be, celebrate that and write that down. I even invite you to this challenge of maybe texting or calling somebody. Hey, I did this week and I'm really proud of it. I just wanted to tell you, I felt like I wanted to share one of my wins. What's one of the wins that you had? And wow, check that out. You're asking them to think of something that they won, that they reflected on and they were proud of, and they're going to love you for that. How will you improve for the next week? What is it that you want to do a little bit different? Is it becoming more organized? Is it prepping? Is it getting up a little bit earlier? Just one thing. Just one thing, right? 1% better. How will you improve for the next week? And things that you'll do to make this week great. What is it that you want to do in your personal life? What is it that you want to do in your work life? What is it that you want to do in your family and friend life or your gym life? Right? One thing, just one thing. For your gym life, do you want to make it into the gym more often? For your family and friend life, do you want to call that one person that you've been neglecting for these couple of weeks and it's just really been on your heart? Right? Don't you want to connect with that person again? For your work life, is it making another call if that is in your industry? Is it reaching out a little bit more? Is it following up with a customer? What is it that will make your work life a little bit better, right? Is it communicating to your peers and your boss a little bit more? And of course, with your personal life, whether it's in your relationships with others or your relationship with yourself, how are you going to improve? What is it that you want to do? And once you write it down, right, it's written. So it is written, so it shall be, right? It's going to happen. So what are you looking forward to next week? And it doesn't have to be related to the challenge. Is there something big, right? One of our members has she's watching right now, matter of fact. What up, Casey? She has her Ironman, her half Ironman. Is it half or is it full? I'm pretty sure it's. You told me it was a half, but if it is a full, holy shit. But she has her Ironman coming up, so that's something to be excited about, right? What is it that you are excited about here, and what is it that you're looking forward to? And you can write that down, right? Dun 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 dun. So after you do the weekly review, we have weeks for a habit, which is going to be hydrating properly. If you remember from week 1, day 3, you want to adequately hydrate. Hydration curbs hunger and keeps energy high and aids in weight loss. Drink half your body weight in ounces per day. Keep scheduling, walking, recording, eating food, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. Hydrating is one of the most underrated nutritional crutches, legs, I guess you could say, like foundation pieces of the foundation that we tend not to address quite too often. That, and then of course sleep. Sleep is one of the biggest things. We're going to get to that, but it's going to be next week. So let's stick on hydration. The average American doesn't hydrate adequately for the majority of the week. I want to say that they like if we're supposed to drink, or the recommended drinking, the recommended amount is 8 cups of water per day, right, spread throughout the day. The average American gets 2 to 3 cups of water per day throughout the day. Now, let's look at the human body real quick. The human body is composed of about 70 to 75% water. Your organs, some of your organs are a majority, like 85 to 90% water, and then most of your cells are also made of water. So when we don't get that water, we are basically limiting the function of our cells, we're limiting the function of our organs, we're limiting the function of our body. With that being said, our organs and our cells aren't able to function optimally, so we don't have the amount of energy that we truly would desire and want. With that comes a lot of things. It comes adrenal fatigue, it comes dehydration, and it also comes a slew of other problems internally. And we're not going to get into all of those issues right now, but one of the biggest ones is dehydration. This is something that I've suffered from, right? During my bodybuilding career, I guess you could call it, my trainer asked me to take a month's worth of diuretics within a week. Well, a diuretic is something that expels water from your body, right? In bodybuilding, you want to get as tight as possible so that your skin is basically transparent. Well, after that competition, things went really well, but the following few days, I wasn't able to stand up. I was in a bent over position, and it caused me pain to stand up, and things were exiting my mouth and then exiting other areas too, and I had to go to the hospital. And long story short, I was placed into the ER, and I was given 2 bags of fluid, right? And right after that, I was perfect. I was severely dehydrated. It caused black bags under my eyes. It caused adrenal fatigue. It caused severe muscle cramps, and I think that it caused a heat cramp too, because I was outside, right? Like heat exhaustion, because I was outside when all this occurred. So actually I was inside, I was working out when all this occurred, and then I went outside and it got worse. So that's, one of the things is just straight hydration. And the second thing is when we aren't able to hydrate, our joints aren't able to get lubricated, we aren't able to digest things quite as well, and we aren't able to expel waste from the body. Now, if you think about this, when you use the restroom, right, what you're doing is you're expelling waste. Whether it's whether it's number one or number two, I'm such a child. Whether it's number one or whether it's number two, right, you still need water in order to pass the waste throughout the body. Now, internally, when you don't hydrate, right, that waste ends up sticking to the walls of the colon, the small intestine, and the stomach isn't able to digest as well. Now, you have stomach acid that's able to help the food with digestion, but as far as to move the waste throughout the body, throughout the large and small intestine, you need that water to help out and to cause the contractions of those internal organs in order to move, right? It's interesting that the body can, if you don't drink any water and you're out throughout the day, I think it's 3 to 4 days, maybe 5 tops, but 3 to 4 days, and you'll die, right? Because you don't have enough water. And food, you're able to actually last for about a month, right? You can last for about a month with the excess body fat that you have on you. But with water, it's not the case. And our bodies are interesting things too. Our bodies can take liquid, right, the water from other liquid, and it can digest that and it will be okay. Take soft drinks, take tea, take milk, take juice, take any other type of beverage besides water, right? And more than likely there will be calories in it. And if there aren't calories, then there's some type of unsafe chemical that's within it. But our bodies can survive off of that. People can not drink water for days, but they can survive off these other liquids. And what ends up happening is when we drink these other liquids and we stay on them, we get used to the feeling that they give, right? Like with food, if we eat junk food all the time, we're going to feel like junk, right? And we're going to get used to that feeling and we're going to think that's normal. Well, it's the same thing with other drinks. Soft drinks are one of the world's or the nation's top issues because of the amount of sugar that they have. If you look at a Coke bottle, right, a Coke bottle will have anywhere, or a Coke can will have anywhere between 35 and 40 grams of sugar in it, right? That's 4 calories per gram of sugar. So that ends up being, oh my God, my math is terrible, for 160? Yeah, 40 plus times 4 is 160 calories just, right, from sugar. Now imagine having that 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day. That builds up, and all those calories come from straight sugar. And what that sugar does is it affects the body. It spikes the insulin. It causes you to hold body fat around your trunk, on your back, and in your waist. And it causes a slew of different diseases that come with it. Now, when you drink water, you end up, 1, hydrating. You end up, 2, getting more energy. And 3, you lubricate your joints. We can talk about the benefits of water all day, and we can also look at the many articles and websites that talk about the benefits of water all day. Now, along with that water, you want to make sure that you're getting the best quality water that you can. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Dasani is better than Smart Water and Voss is the best thing in the world. I'm not a water sommelier, like a wine sommelier, or maybe it's a connoisseur. I can't remember the exact term. However, know your quality of water. Know if your water is basic. Know if your water is acidic. Know if your water is clean. Know if your water is filtered. Some of the best water to have, although it's not the tastiest, is the distilled water, right? They get everything out of it, so it's pretty much as pure as it can get. From there, I love mineral water. I'm not the biggest fan of having fluoride in there, but I love mineral water because it has such a great taste. And they also have bottled water that's alkaline water, right? Alkaline water is basic water, meaning on the pH scale, it's not acidic and it's not all the way alkaline. It's right there in the middle, and that's perfect for our bodies because our bodies, right, are meant to stay in an alkaline, in a basic state. That's where they thrive, meaning if the environment of our body is acidic from fast food, from soft drinks, from free radicals in the body, right, from cancer-causing agents and all that kind of stuff, then our body isn't going to perform optimally. However, if we feed our body with antioxidants, we keep it hydrated, and we do other things of those manner, right, to keep our body in the healthiest state that it can, then it's going to thrive. And when it's in a thriving, healthy environment, illness can't survive. So that's what we're creating by hydrating, right, is we're creating an environment for our body to function optimally and survive. So how do you get enough water in? Oh my God, it's the question of the day. It's the question of the century. Because you might sit down all day and you have to pee all the time if you're getting too much water. I'm going to get some water right now. But if you're peeing all day, then you have to get up and then it affects your work. Well, here's the thing is strategize, right? Strategize. Right when you wake up, drink 1 to 2 glasses of water. It's going to be super difficult, but if you can do that and you can put some lemon in your water, oh my God, you're starting off in a great state. Now, why does that work? I'm not sure the science behind it, but when you place lemon in water, obviously, and then you get that into your body, that acidity is transformed into an alkaline property. So what you're doing is you're actually helping your body become more basic when, basic bitch, when you get, oh my gosh, that lemon water in your body. So boom, that's the first thing, right? 1 to 2 cups of lemon water in the morning. Then throughout the day, what you can do is strategize, right? If you have lunch, if you know that you're going to have a busy morning, drink all that water in the morning so that right around lunchtime, maybe an hour before, you can start drinking water again, and then you can use the restroom on your lunch break. Strategize when you're going to drink this water. You are the one who defines how your life is. You are the one who creates the blueprint, right? Now, we do have responsibilities, obviously, like work and relationships and then kids and their things and all these different things that we've agreed to do, right? So you've got to account for those in your schedule. However, after you account for those, account for your water. Because if you're not getting enough water in, then you're not going to be able to do these things the best way that you can. So we have that, and then what I like to do is I like to cut off water like around 8:30 in the evening because I don't want to use the restroom all night or have to wake up in the middle of the night to use the restroom. That doesn't always happen, right, because I drink a lot of water throughout the day. However, it does reduce the chance of it. And you remember, I'm sure you hear me at the end of classes all the time, what you want to do is you want to drink half your body weight in ounces of water per day. Meaning, if you weigh 160 pounds, you want to drink 80 ounces of water. If you don't do that, that's okay, right? You want to make sure that your urine is a light yellow to clear color. Clear might be a little bit too much, but that light yellow works out perfect. Excuse me. And you want to make sure, right, that you're doing this every day because 1 to 2 days of not having enough water can affect the body greatly, right? Greatly, greatly. I believe for me yesterday, I didn't drink enough water. Today, I feel very lethargic isn't the right word, but just not high in energy, right? So I'm drinking all that water to help and make up for it. You don't want to play catch up. You want to make sure that you stay consistent. Is it always going to happen? No. So prepare for those setbacks, right? Prepare your thoughts, right? Okay, this didn't happen. That's okay. These are the steps that I'm going to take, and then move forward from there. Now, that's about all I'm going to talk about with water. We could go on for a little while longer, but we're covering it, right? So you want to make sure that you hydrate enough every single day. You want to make sure that you get, I would say 8 to 16 ounces of water in the morning. Make that lemon water. You also want to get half your body weight in ounces of water per day, right? So if you need help with the math, please let me know and I got you back. And of course, you want to make sure that you're drinking water with your meals or before your meals. Whenever you have water before your meals or even with your meals, I would say before mainly, it fills up the stomach a little bit, right? And when you put the food in your body, it inflates the food and it allows you to feel more satisfied faster, therefore not eating quite as many calories. And that in the end ends up saving you. So if you have any questions, please let me know below. If you have not done the 10 grape, 10 M&M, or 10 raisin test, then please go ahead and get that done. And I think that's it. We have shirts, so if you haven't gotten your shirt yet, please let me know. I've got your shirt. And have a wonderful Saturday and weekend. You're unstoppable. I believe in you. And let's kill it, y'all. Here we go. Week 4 is underway. 3, 2, and check y'all later.